We capped off the last episode, Rudy, recovering from a slight, just flesh wound. A gaping hole in one's chest is really not quite that bad. The Dragon God, one of the top forces to contend with in this world, really not really too fond of the man God. Any kind of history or understanding, they're not really explained to us, and I didn't expect it would be. But the devastation caused to all of them, that was self-evident. But after causing significant mental trauma to Eris and Ruijard, how are they going to just walk this one off? Sure, the Dragon God has left and they're now kind of just still on their journey, minus one beast of burden and all their luggage. Just after Eris had been told that she is no longer a child, she is a fully fledged warrior, and then comes up against that. Yeah, it's going to knock anyone for a loop. Still, we need some time for recovery. Let's see where their journey will take them. Well, it's really not anything to be too surprised about, just seeing a pool of what looks to be blood. Rudy's not a stranger to it recently. Okay, being faked out. This is wine. This is back at his birthday party. Hang on a second. I feel like he's misremembering the series of events. The kind of rattled and dying brain coming up with its own ideas of what's going on. How much has he been tormented by the Dragon God now for it to manifest in this kind of nightmare? Oh no. When you start comparing it to his old self, that's when it truly hits. Can he go outside and join them? An inescapable fate should he come across the Dragon God and piss him off again. Yeah, you're probably not going to get a good night's sleep after the events that he's experienced. I see Ruijard is having a bit of introspection there after learning about the man god, but also after losing so handedly. You don't actually know. To think that how could Rudy have this kind of information there? If what he's saying is not somewhat accurate. Well, don't get too complacent in thinking everything's going to be alright, but hope that it's clearing up. Is at least going to put his mind at some ease. You could hear You could hear that in his voice. Even if you're just pretending, just to let him have this moment. practicing. Ah, I see. With one hand fire, with the other trying to eliminate it. But having a moment that seemed so dire and life being so fickle, how is that going to affect their journey going forward? Especially with only 2 episodes left. His homestead reduced to rubble? Yeah. Memories of his past, his childhood. I like the patch on his jacket. Being reduced to just splinters and mortar. I wonder how it would feel to actually have visual kind of hallucinations of memories. That'd be kind of cool to experience, but also questionable. The tree. I think having the acoustic guitar as the track for this scene, like a reminiscent of old times and memories. Kind of somberness. A solemn event. Their home. That was the deal. He has started his journey of regaining the reputation. He's changed as who he is hopefully for the better. But now is Richard going to have to go off and protect so many more? All of it building up to who he is. It was through his own efforts. But in the short few years since knowing Rudy, a little change in how he thinks. A truly heartfelt thanks. Still gonna have a tough farewell, like with the Beastman. Even if it was fate that she wasn't destined to fall in that fight, but still, as long as she keeps aiming ever higher. And following that. they may allow it. You know, farewells and everything is going to be difficult, especially when you've entrusted your life to someone for and be like the only contact you've had for years. Use it as a symbol. I mean, it was given to him as a gift, but because it meant something. The idea of him imparting it to Rudyard now. It's going to be a long journey to wherever he's going, but the path isn't going to be easy. After hard times, culminating in just a plutonic friendship with a spurd. We may part with people we know. It's not always the end of the story. Yep. Just another one to add to the pile there. A somewhat refugee camp for everyone that was affected. With entire... Oh, Ghislaine? After saying goodbye to one, meeting another old friend. And how long has she been here? I thought she had some sort of resistance to magic, so was she actually teleported at all? I mean, after spending so much together already, every kind of important bit of... the list. We kind of knew one of them. A conflict zone. Okay, we can trust that one then. Executed as he was the lord in charge of the zone, of the region. And the fact that Rudy was the one to have an outburst, and Eris... Eris is the one remaining calm in the situation. Well, on the surface. Yes, because right now, establishing yourself as in a powerful family is what's needed. I mean, political marriages and whatnot have happened for far less. All those pages stayed together quite well. Really nicely bound, those packs of paper. Imagine just finding out that Ghislaine and others just wanted to be alone. But a roller coaster of emotions there. Finding out that some are fine, others less so. And then you might be a list of the missing. Actually managing to cross some of the names off. It's crossed out. That's a sign. Just crossing the names off the list of missing is one thing, but still don't know from there what happens. Where they are, where they were found, what they've been through. I mean, just for the occasion. What, the family being dead, the execution, or the political marriage? Yeah, you're... Happy birthday and the like. Just as long as they don't have to. Well, they being siblings might make that difficult. Or maybe not, who knows? I mean, she's going through so much at the minute. Just trying to cling to anything, I'm guessing. The fact that he is faltering and questioning it himself is a bit more than just the perv that the maid has made him out to be. Well, and his actions have made him out to be. Such a waste of wine. Not quite the kind of series of events you'd expect to lead up to things like this, but he can't really deny that one, can he? A delayed answer. A lesson from mother. kind of messages. What? What would you even say to a sentence like that? I know the family was a bit obsessed with Beastkin and were like, but might be taking it a bit far. What happened to the light just then? Did anyone think that a scene like even close to that would be coming up from when we first met, being picked up as a teacher for the very quick to become physical errors? Subtle. I mean, the kind of huh? That was a deep puddle of wine. Of course, imagery not being completely lost. Oh, fuck off, Sugita. Your lives are shit, but there's still some people who are experiencing the same kind of relief of finding loved ones and the like. Did you think it would be that easy? You would have thought he would have noticed that when he woke up. Oh. Removing her hair, remaking herself after tragedy. I can guess where this is going. Asking him to be family and then abandoning him, taking Ghislaine. Rudyard is gone. Rudy has very little left. Still, Sylvia's out there somewhere. It would be a lot to try and unpack for anyone. Even if he didn't have a mind of however old he was, 30 odd. Kind of fitting that he's just walking amongst ruins in a moment like that. There have been a lot of tears this episode. Is that the first, wail we've heard for a while? The thing is, for Rudy, every element of kind of his support network, his friends, his mentors, have vanished on him, and with a sense of being abandoned as well. He was just starting to overcome his past and who he was. This is going to be a real test of his new character. I mean, if hardship delegated him to a life inside, shuttered away from people before. There's just I'm trying to get my own mind in order. There's just so much to kind of unpack. We kind of assumed that the journey back to the centre of destruction, to their old homes, wasn't going to go well. They would see the devastation, destruction, the people that have been displaced and trying to rebuild something, just a holding camp for everyone until they kind of give up hope and move on or find their family. But for episode 22, the penultimate episode of the season, to end in so many characters just leaving, Rudy being left by himself, essentially. I mean, yeah, usually we have like an end of a season either being somewhat uplifting, look at the future, things are looking bright, but we've still got work to do, or completely, hitting the fan, and now we're facing a crisis. But just a bleak outlook. The protagonist, what's he gonna do now? I really wonder what's gonna occur in the next episode. How this is gonna be carried on, or who's gonna be like the kind of word to him, the driving force to get him to do anything. I'm expecting him to lock himself away again. Old habits are hard to kill. I'm also expecting to, future seasons down the line, how many years we'll have to wait for that, to hear about the exploits of this Rudyard, of what he will do in the future, of how he will continue to try and rebuild his name with that hope of the future actually ongoing, the curse dissipating. If sure, it was only told through the man god and might not necessarily be entirely true, but at least it's something to work on. And because we were told that the teleportation incident had put people all over the place, and so far we haven't really had any main issues with many people that we know. Obviously, there was that kid that was a bit after something happened to him. Wasn't explained, but okay. Lilia and Aisha being okay-ish. Well, being found at least. Mother still being missing, so that one's a bit of a wild card, but knowing that two kind of named slightly influential, at least one of them, Philip, killed off screen and confirmed. Well, okay. I guess that easily wraps up part of the family issue with Eris, and helps compound the issue with the family power struggle. Wow. I think one day we will actually find out what that Manor Cataclysm was about and why it was there and who cast it, and unless it's just some sort of natural phenomenon that is one of those rare occurrences, once every 1,000 years kind of thing. And yet no records of one since, or before. I wish I had something to say. I'm just devoid of everything at the minute. I don't know what I'm thinking and what I'm trying to put together in my head. The music was nice. I enjoyed the music. Acoustical ballad being played on top of the hill with the tree. the slower pace of it, the emphasis on every note, nothing to hide what was going on. It was a time for recollection. And though time passes, comes and goes, memories fade. Places, landmarks, your homes, gonna road to the whims of time. As long as you're still here and hold those moments in your heart, they're never truly gone. But with a lump in my throat and avoiding the obvious conversations about Eris and actions taken before leaving on her journey, which I'm assuming she had planned that beforehand. That's why she was so adamant. I just hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll be moving on to the last one. I wonder if it would give me enough, or the same level of introspection and trying to actually formulate some sort of understanding in my head as this one did. If you liked it, leave a like on the video, comment down below, maybe even consider subscribing. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest. I'll see you in the next one. There are some people that, if they up and left me, I would be devastated as well. And that is the likes of Electric Ant, Noku, Raywin, Kite, Sal, Shiwan, Mats, Girly, Cardboard, Croyville, Gintman, Jennifer Rojas, Dark Shadow 7899, Jeremiah Teamer, Finesse Kid, and everyone else. Because we have strolled the wasteland that is YouTube content together for a while. Honestly, I owe everything that the channel is currently to all of them. And if you would like to try and fill any potential gaping hole in my heart, consider joining onto Patreon as well.